Namaste. We start the session in the couple of minutes. We'll wait for a couple of minutes. Just wanted to remind you all that the recorded sessions are been available on the YouTube on the Himalayan Yoga Association channel. You can once ask the management about it and they will guide you properly regarding the videos. I mean, I'm telling you for those who are missing or who have missed their session. Okay. So my whiteboard is visible completely. My voice is audible. So now we can begin with the session here. Before we start, would like to chant a mantra, an opening mantra this way, and followed by Om one time. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much. We start the session directly. Now, I don't think I can see any student, but maybe they can watch the recording or they could join anytime. We'll try to complete our syllabus for 300 hours here. What we were studying yesterday or what have we studied yesterday or what we have discussed yesterday regarding the skeletal system. So from the axial skeletal system, what have we seen up till now? The bones and its location and its type in our cranium, in our face, and in our ears. So in our cranium, we have figured it out. There are 8 bones fused together, makes up our cranium, which protects the vital organ here, brain. Then in our facial skeleton, there are approximately 14 bones, where all these bones are all fixed and only moving bone is mandible, the lower jaw. The rest of the bones are all fixed from the head, the cranium and the facial, apart from the lower jaw. And also we have seen the bones in our ears. That bones in the ears are fixed. So in both the ears, 6 bones. In each ear, 3 bones. Auditory ossicles, we say, the tiniest bones in our body, which helps to transmit and amplify the sound falling on the eardrum and taken by these bones to the inside of the ear. Followed by this, we have also seen the neck section. So this was all the head section, the cranium, the facial, and the ears. The neck section here, we have seen a floating bone in our whole body. Always remember there is only one floating bone in our whole body. That means the bone is not connected to any other bone. They can be connected to the connective tissues, but not to the any other bone. The rest of the bones are all connected to the other bones. So floating bone, known to be as hyoid bone. This hyoid bone is what? Just placed right above our thyroid cartilage to keep our windpipe open and to hold the muscles of our tongue behind our hyoid bone. So today we will see the next. The first was the head, the second was the neck section. Now, hyoid bone, we have seen the third type. We will see from the axial skeleton today. It is what? Our back and the spine. Anatomy and physiology. Yoga, anatomy and physiology. Here, the third type, we will see the spine, or we can say it as a vertebral column. What about this vertebral column? This vertebral column also lies in our one axis of our body. So on our back here, if you will see the shape of our spine, our vertebra, B, you will find out there are irregular shapes of the vertebra. There are irregular shapes of vertebra, not like the specific shape of the bones. So these are irregular bones. Here I am being showing the 7 vertebrae in the black marker. So the first 7 vertebrae starting from the medulla oblongata, that is just our small brain at the back. Below the medulla oblongata, here you start your first vertebra in your neck and the 7th vertebra. So the first 7 vertebrae are known as the cervical region. Is known as the cervical region. And these vertebrae are denoted by C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7. So denoted by the term cervical C1 to C7. If in case we want to know where is actually our 7th vertebra, then how will we figure it out, our 7th vertebra? If we will bend our neck down and if we will place our hand at the lower neck, at the bottom of our neck, you will find out the big bone where your upper back will start. That big bone is at the bottom of your neck. Here, that vertebra is your 7th vertebra in the cervical series. So that is your C7. Whatever disease or disorders we get, like the spondylitis, so that affects the cervical vertebra. Okay, these 7 cervical from the 7 vertebra. Then I will change the color of the marker just to let you understand what are the next vertebrae. Here I will use the red. So here you will figure it out. There are 12 vertebrae. So if you will see here, which I have been drawing, so there are 12 vertebrae. The next 12 vertebrae are known as thoracic region. Thoracic vertebrae. In bracket, I will write 12. How are they denoted as? They are denoted from thoracic term T. So thoracic starts from T. So T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7, T8, T9, T10, T11, T12. So these thoracic vertebrae are your middle back section, starting from your upper back till your middle back section is your thoracic vertebra. So 7 from the cervical, 12 from the thoracic. Now we would see the next again, just to change the color to make you understand clearly. We will again make it a black. So the next 5 vertebrae are known as lumbar region. I will make my camera down so that you will figure it out here. These are the lumbar section. How many vertebrae are there in the lumbar? 5. Apart from this lumbar, that is nothing but your lower back, lumbar section, it ends here and your pelvic will start from the lumbar section. So your pelvic, the hip bones will start from the lumbar. Then you will have the sacrum that is fixed in your pelvic and your tailbone that is also inside your pelvic. So you will have the next 2 vertebrae that are like sacrum. This is one single sacrum made up of 4 fused bones, and there is one single coccyx that is also made up of 4 fused bones. So sacrum is made up of 5 fused bones, and coccyx, the tailbone, is made up of 4 fused bones. I am saying fused. I never use the word fused bones in cervical, thoracic, and lumbar region. I am using this word only for the sacrum, the red one here. This is your sacrum, and this black one is your coccyx. So you can count coccyx as one single bone or 4 fused bones. Similarly, you can count sacrum as one single bone or 5 fused bones. So the sacrum and the coccyx are the part of your spine, but they are fused bones like the bones which are in our brain or which are in our head or in our face. Fused bones which are not moving. The rest of the vertebrae are moving, not completely moving, but they are also known as semi-movable vertebrae. What are they known as? Semi-movable bones. So why are they known as semi-movable? Because there is a what? A cartilage disc. The cartilage disc is in between these all vertebrae. What is the purpose of this cartilage disc? In between all these vertebrae, you will see the cartilage pad or disc. If you have heard about the term a slip disc, so when the disc will move towards the posterior side, towards the anterior side. Anterior side means when the disc will shift towards the front side, towards our stomach of our spine. That is anterior slip disc. When the disc will slip towards the posterior side, posterior means back side, out from our back. So this is what? That this disc are been slipping for those people who have problem with the back, with the cartilage of these vertebrae. There are certain asanas which can fix this cartilage discs completely. Herniated disc, slip disc, it can be easily fixed with certain period of time, like in a week or 2, with certain asanas followed with the proper technique and with the proper guidance, it can be easily fixed without any surgery required. depends upon how deep is the injury. Now, we will see the next here. So total number of vertebrae, how many? Here we forgot to mention the names of the lumbar region 5. So we have here L1 to L5, L2, L3, L4, L5. So lumbar L1 to L5, thoracic T1 to T12, cervical C1 to C7. In between each vertebra, cartilage is sacrum counted as 1 or 5 fused bones. Similarly, coccyx counted as 1 or 4 fused bones. In some scientific texts, they count it separate fused bones. We will count here as 1 because we will count the total number 206 number of bones. If we will change the sacrum and the coccyx, the number of the bones in our body will also change. It can become 213. So count it as 1 and 1 only to manage or to make it 206. I will erase this now. Okay. And we will see further bones. My duster, my eraser over here. So the next, number 4 now. The next, number 4 here. The ribs and the sternum. What is this number 4? From the axial skeletal system only. We are not seeing yet the appendicular skeletal system. We are still watching the axial, so the bones in one axis. So the ribs and the sternum now. First, what is the sternum? The sternum is the bone you will see in the center of your chest. It looks like a tie. It looks like a tie in between our chest bone over right, starting from the here at the center of our chest. This is our sternum. This whole thing is our sternum in between. And to this sternum, there are ribs connected to this sternum. So we have the sternum and the ribs are connected to this sternum. So how many vertebrae were there totally in our back and spine? 26. Now, how many ribs will be there? How to know or how to get the number of the ribs? How we should remember the number of the ribs? Even after remembering the number of vertebrae in our whole body, in our spine, we could figure it out. How many ribs do we have? So the cervical has 7 vertebrae, but thoracic region has 12 vertebrae. And all the ribs are connected behind to the vertebral column at thoracic section. So to the vertebral column at thoracic section, there are 12 vertebrae. And all the ribs are connected behind to the 12 vertebrae. So the total number of ribs will be 24 because the ribs are coming from both the sides after connecting back to the thoracic 12 vertebrae. So 12 ribs from each side will make 24 ribs in front. We have. Now we will see how are these ribs connected and what are they known as. So these ribs are also connected to the cartilage. Here, the cartilage, 7 cartilage, we will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Similarly, here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the cartilage are only 7, but the ribs are 12 on each side. So first 7 ribs are connected to the thoracic region at the back as well, and they are connected in the front to the sternum bone as well. This is your sternum bone. So these are your ribs, 7 on each side. This I will draw in the black section and will write it as true ribs. So the first 7 ribs on each side will be known as true ribs. But total I will write 14. So 7 on each side. Got it? Now, the rest of the ribs. First 7 are connected to the sternum to their own cartilage. So these ribs have their own cartilage, 7 points. But the rest of the ribs do not have their own cartilage. So the next 6 ribs, so 3 on each side, are connected to the cartilage of the 7th rib. So right over here, this is your 7th rib cartilage, and this cartilage will be connected and will make 3 more ribs. So this is your cartilage for the next 3 ribs on each side. And to this cartilage, there are total 3 ribs on each side. These ribs are known as false ribs. Here I will denote the number 6. So 3 on each side. So now we have seen 14 ribs and our true ribs, which connects at the back to the cartilage of the vertebra, connects in the front to their own cartilage on the sternum. The false ribs are what? 6. They are connected at the back to the vertebra cartilage, but in the front they are not connected to their own cartilage. They connect their cartilage to the cartilage of the 7th rib. Their cartilage is not connected to the sternum. So false rib. Now the next 4 ribs are connected at the back, but they are floating in the front. Here, they are connected at the back, but they are floating in the front. These ribs are known as the false floating ribs. I will write here 4. So 2 on each side are false floating ribs. If you will see 14 true ribs, 6 false ribs, total 20, and false floating ribs 4, 24 ribs. Total 12 on each side, including the sternum, will make 25. So one sternum and 24 ribs together. Here, this false floating, the word is false floating I am being using. False floating ribs does not mean that the ribs are completely floating in our body. I am saying that we have only one floating bone in our body, that is in our neck, hyoid bone, not connected to any other bone. But these false floating ribs are connected on the vertebrae behind T11 and T12. So they are like coming from the bottom, but not connected in front anywhere. These ribs are false floating, not like our hyoid bone completely floating. They are at least connected back, but not in front, these ribs. But these ribs are also known as removable ribs. Some people or some celebrities, like I will just give an example, not say the name, but many people here remove these ribs, false floating. It is not good to remove the ribs, but the people who remove the ribs just to look good or maybe attractive, or maybe we can say like to improve the flexibility or to get into good shape from our abdomen and the waist. Here, some people can remove these ribs just to look for the look, but make sure if we remove these false floating ribs as well, we can suffer, or the people or the person can suffer from the health issues or the mental weakness, nervous weakness, and psychological problems as well, emotional problems, because these ribs are connected to the central nervous system on the back. If we try to damage the nerve as well, some spinal with the surgery, then we would face some problems in future as well with our psychosomatic disorders. So try not to do anything to your own ribs. Whatever is God gifted, try to use it in that manner only, not to play with our organs by the development of the science nowadays, but science keep it at other side. Whatever is God gifted given to us, just handle it in that way. Or we could suffer some different disorders because the science is developing too much nowadays. Again, got it? This is all about the axial skeletal system. Head, neck, spine, and the ribs. Have a look one time and I will erase this now. Okay. So the total number of the bones we have seen in the axial skeletal system was 80. 80 number of bones we have already seen and discussed in the axial skeletal system. So first we have started with the head section, and in the head section, this bone in the front, the forehead, is known as the frontal bone, one single bone. Then at the side we have the two temporal bones. On the top we have the two parietal bones. At the back we have one occipital bone. And the facial skeleton here as well, we have ethmoid plate on the eye. Zygomatics are our cheekbones, and maxilla are our upper jaw. This is all fixed, but the only movable bone in our facial skeleton is our mandible, the lower jaw. Then, what else we have seen in the axial skeleton? Ear bones in our head, three: incus, malleus, and step in a sequence. Try to watch the video yesterday. yesterday's video slide, and you will figure it out. The diagrammatic representation there itself, you will find it out. Where incus connected to the malleus, malleus connected to the steps, which is the tiniest bone in our whole body, connected to the inside of the brain. So auditory ossicles inside our ear, 6. So we have the 8 bones in our skull, cranium, and in our face we have 14 bones. We have 6 bones in the ear. So here you will get the total number of bones, 8 plus 14 plus 6, that is 28 bones. Apart from these 28 bones, we have also seen the hyoid bone in the next section. And from this hyoid bone here, bone and 29 bones here we have seen in the head and the neck section. The rest, there are 24 ribs we have just seen now. And from that 24 ribs, if we will count 29 with the head and the hyoid bone plus 24 ribs. So 29 plus 4 here, 33, and 33 plus 20. So 29 plus 24 is equal to 53 bones. Yep, approximately 53 bones here. And afterwards, we have also discussed about the sternum. So 53 bones in the sternum, in 53 together with the ribs, but we have not counted the sternum bones. So we have the sternum, one sternum, 54. So here, including the head section, complete 28 bones, one hyoid bone, 29, one sternum, 30, plus these 24 ribs are 54 bones in the axial skeleton. Now, I said there was 80. So where are the rest of the 26 bones left? From the vertebrae. So there are 26 vertebrae in our spine, which we have seen. If you will add this to the 54, you will get the 80 number of bones in the axial skeletal system, which we have studied from yesterday till now. Okay, got it everyone? Please ask after watching the recording as well if you have any questions and if you join the rest of the session. Now, we will see and start with the appendicular skeletal system. We will just introduce what is appendicular skeletal system. So we have finished with the axial. Now, we'll just introduce what is appendicular skeletal. Appendicular skeletal. Appendicular skeletal system is nothing but the bones which are present in our upper limbs and the lower limbs, and those bones which connect our upper limbs to the axial skeletal system, and those bones which connect our lower limbs to the axial skeletal system. So these bones are known to be as appendicular skeletal system. So first we will see, and today we will study about pectoral girdle. We have just a couple of minutes, 5-10 minutes. We will study about pectoral girdle. What is pectoral girdle? What is the pectoral girdle? Girdle is what the connection. The pectoral girdle is what? First, let me write it down over here. From the appendicular, we have pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle means the bones which connect our arm to the axis. So where is our arm connected? Here is the shoulder. So which are these two bones which connect our arm to our axis of the body? So those bones are our shoulder blade that is known as scapula. And we have the collarbone. This is known as the clavicle. So shoulder blade, if you will see in my back here, I am pointing. This is our shoulder blade. And if you see the collarbone, we have the collarbone right above our first rib. This is our collarbone here, which connects here to the shoulder blade. So shoulder blade and the collarbone connects our arm to the axial skeleton. Cleared? Very easy. The shoulder blade that is known as scapula and the collarbone that is known as clavicle connects our upper limb, that is our arm, to the axis of our body, is known as pectoral girdle. So only these two bones are the pectoral girdle, which connects our upper limb to the axial skeleton. Then we have the bones which are being present in our arm. Then we will figure it out, the bones which connect our legs to the axial skeleton, that is our pelvic. And we will figure it out the rest of the bones which are being present in our whole leg. So we will have the 2 arms, 2 legs. The total number of bones in the whole appendicular skeletal system will be 126. From those 126 number of bones, we have just seen 2. The rest of the bones will be easily, because we will watch it in the tomorrow's class. If I will start now, we will not be able to complete or finish it in 5 minutes. We will not be able to understand the concept. And if we will complete it in a halfway, you will get more confused. So we will start with this in tomorrow's session. We will just figure it out, the bones in one arm, and we will multiply it by 2. So for the 2 arms, similarly, we will figure it out, the bones in our one leg. We will just multiply it by 2. So we will get the number of bones in our 2 legs. We will also see the pelvic joint, which is one of the most important joints or the most important part in the human body anatomy while we practice any yoga style. So any yoga posture, any asana posture, any pranayama posture, any meditative posture, any cleansing technique, everything, I repeat, pelvic is important part, the first, then our back and spine. Why? If you watch a video, you will try to figure it out why, but I will answer you tomorrow here why. Before learning about the pelvic, will not answer why it is important. So you can also study about it and let me know if you will join it tomorrow. And if you have any questions here, you can let me know whatever we have been studying today. If not, then we can move further with the next syllabus tomorrow. Pelvic, the most important part, just I gave you a simple task today. If you have some time, try to figure it out why I said like this. Back and spine is more important in our yoga. Pelvic is more important than back and spine. If pelvic we will keep it in alignment. The back and spine will be obviously it will be easily for us to keep in alignment. But if we directly focus on the spine, our back, if it is straight or erect, without focusing on our pelvic, even if we will do years and years of yoga, then also there will be no use if our pelvic is not in alignment and hips are not in square. So we will figure it out as well tomorrow. I will speak about it. Got it about the axial skeletal first, 80 number of bones. We will see these 126 bones in the next class. Tomorrow, just 2 bones we have seen now. So the remaining 124 we will see tomorrow. Thank you so much, people. Before we end the session, we will chant Om and a closing prayer before Om 1 time, followed by Shanti 3 times for peace. I will chant a mantra now. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukh Bhag Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much, people. We will end up our session now. See you tomorrow. Hari Om from the Himalayan Yoga session. Thank you. I will end up the meeting now.